Welcome back to the farm. I'm just knocking out a couple of quick chores this morning before work. Today's going to be a lot of stuff working on the chicken yard. I put the block in so they'll stop kicking shavings out the door, and I need to add another bale of pine shavings to that. They need their feeders filled, and I want to get some hoses moved around to make it easier to fill their big waterer. So those are the primary tasks we're going to work on today, and we'll see what else we manage to get to. Are all full, water's full, and I put a new bag of shavings down to cover the floor. It's not distributed very evenly, but it doesn't need to be because the chickens are going to dig around in that and spread it all out. By late fall, at the earliest, I may even wait until spring, I will have added enough shavings to this, and it will have gone through the chickens pooing and peeing on it and getting food in it and all of that, stirring it around as they dig through it looking for whatever bugs and such, that this is going to make a real nice compost that I can put on the garden. But for now, all I have to do is just keep adding layers depending on how fast they're contaminating, if you will. fouling the shavings. You just add on top, it kills the smell, and it gives them something to turn through. It'll probably need topping up more often in the winter when they're not outside as much. And in the winter, I'm also going to shorten their run so they won't have as much space. But for now, they've got the whole outdoors, and so they're mostly just in here at night. I think they're in here at night. I got a scare last night. I came out at 8 o'clock to throw some scraps into the yard, and they were all curled up in the grass by the goat stand. And I hadn't even seen them, so I'm just throwing stuff in for them to find in the morning, and all of a sudden all these heads come up. It scared the heck out of me. So I'm hoping they're sleeping in the coop and not out in the grass. But I may have to come out about 9 o'clock with a flashlight tonight just to make sure, because, I mean, they're fine, nothing's getting at them, but I would feel better knowing that they were getting in the coop at night. All right, the next thing I need to do is I need to rearrange hoses, because I've got to fill the water tank that's in their run, and I'm tired of hauling it back and forth to the garden. So let's move hoses. One for the hose going to the garden and one for the hose going to the children. Watering the chickens that much easier. Everything I can do to make things a little bit easier is going to help me keep on top of chores here since I'm working all by myself. This is only a 3-season solution. In the winter, I'm still going to have to schlep buckets of water up from the house, and that's going to be even worse because I won't be able to use the mower through the snow. I'm trying to figure out a solution for that. If I get an electric trike, a fat wheel trike, if that will give me the hauling capacity that I need for water in the winter. But one problem at a time. I would much rather run a frost-free line from the from the pump up here, but that would require trenching, and I think there's a 3-foot deep trenching requirement here, so that would be incredibly expensive to get that done. So for now, I'm just going to make do with schlepping hoses until I can find a better solution. That's it for this portion of the day. Now this afternoon, since I got all of this done by lunchtime, I have lots of time this evening to do stuff. I need to do some work in the garden, but I think we're going to get those last 2 hardwood trees planted up by the pond. So we've had thunder rolling off in the distance for the last hour or so, and I've been waiting to try and see if it was going to make up its mind what it was going to do. But the forecast says we're not supposed to get any rain for all night, but the radar says we might, and I don't really want to combine my thunderstorm anxiety with my anxiety about the risk of putting the mower in the pond while I'm trying to clear the area to put those trees in. So I'm going to put that off until tomorrow, and I'm just going to spend an hour or so in the garden. So come on along. I love getting to bring them treats at the end of the night. They don't always appreciate it, but like they had no interest in the turnips, but that's okay. They'll still break down. Now, by the end of this week, I'm going to have a compost ring right there. And so instead of throwing these scraps on the ground, I'll throw them in the ring along with some scratch grains and things like that, just to encourage them to get in there and dig it up. But for now, we're just going to be happy with this. So I'm taking a lot of weeds out of the garden, which is good. I mean, it's not good that there were a lot of weeds in the garden, but at least I'm getting them cleaned out. And that's this pile here. I was thinking I was going to make this the compost pile, but if I'm going to do the chicken tractor composting, then this will be the green part of that compost. And I can put the finished compost here to finish breaking down so I can put it on the garden next year. I had a pretty good harvest. This is probably the only broccoli I'm going to get out of the garden this year, but that's okay. I got broccoli out of my garden. Looks like I'm having stir fry for dinner tonight. That's about it for today. I think I'm going to go put hooks on the shed door and call it a night. So thanks for coming along, and I will see you tomorrow. Good afternoon. I'm off to a late start today. I was taking care of business all day, but I've got a lot of bill issues resolved and doctor's appointments made and all that fun stuff. So now I can do some other work. I've been stalling on getting the trees planted by the pond. And as I mentioned yesterday, part of that is because I'm a little anxious after I put the tractor in, or the mower in the creek over here the other day. So rather than give myself a lot of pressure, I am just going to try and deal with getting the path down to where I want to put the trees cut. And I'm going to do it kind of in two stages. I'm going to walk through the area with a weed whacker first to mark the edge, the safe edge of the pond, so I don't get too close. And then I'll go in with the mower and get the path actually cut down. I've got my battery packs for the weed whacker, and I got my my grubby shoes on. So let's get some work done. Up working a little differently than I'd expected it would. A, I forgot to start the camera, but B, the weed whacker was doing nothing. It just did not have the power to get through the thickness of this. So I eyeballed it and took the mower in anyway, and it was dodgy because I don't know how well you can see the slope here. So going in through with the mower keeps trying to slide this way even when I turn. So once I get these trees in here, I don't think I'm going to come through here with the mower because I can't turn very precisely. And again, I don't want to end up in the pond. So I'll just have to do it with the hand mower and mulch it really good so I don't have to come out here very often. Well, that's that taken care of. I do have to mow the front yard, so I think I'm going to go knock that out real quick. And then we'll see what else we can get done today. Some days, no matter how much you want to do the homesteading stuff, you have to do just the home stuff. So I've got to spend the rest of the evening cleaning out my refrigerator, which is not exciting. And I'm not going to inflict that on you folks. And you got to mow the grass, and you got to take the trash out. You got to sweep and mop the kitchen floors. None of that's homesteading, but it's all part of home. So I don't necessarily begrudge it, especially right now when the season is equal parts winding down and winding up. You know, there's not a lot of planting left to do. I could get in and do my beets, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow morning as my first task of the day. But for right now, God, there's a lot of bugs up by my lights. I think I'm going to sweep those all down. Then I'm going to go in and empty my refrigerator and load the dishwasher and make dinner. So I hope you have a lovely evening, and I promise we'll do something much more interesting tomorrow. Have a good night.